Hey guys, Cam McClellan.
Al Lewison.
Welcome to today's workout of the day.
Wealth WOD.
I want to talk today about investing for beginners. Going right back to basics, just doing one summary of what it takes to nail the best investment property time after time. How to find the deal of a lifetime every day of the week.
Very simple.
Very simple. Comes from a process which I developed in previous businesses with straight line. So Al and I were both telemarketers way back in the day at Telstra when we were kids.
We're good at it. We're very good at it.
We're very good at it. There was one reason why we were good at it. So we worked at Telstra. I think when we left, there was about 120 odd people as telemarketers at Telstra. We were number one and number two month after month. For the last 9 months, I'll talk myself up here, I was the number one salesperson, not by a small bit, but by a huge amount, and got dragged into the manager's office and asked why I was so good at selling home message banks and Big Pond over the phone. It was pretty daunting, standing there in front of a room full of managers and area managers, wondering, as a young 20-year-old kid, and I explained to them that on each call I visualised this straight line from the start of the call to the end of the call, and really I just, if I got off track, then I knew where to come back to. So I've always found and heard when I was younger that the fastest way to any given point is a straight line. So I basically worked out steps along the way which allowed me to provide and understand someone's needs and provide a solution that matched their needs. And from there, it wasn't really selling as such, it was just literally providing with something if they need it. If they didn't need it, well, they didn't take it. Al and I've had businesses and trained a fair few people over the years. I think Al used to say I'd go on a spiritual journey when I dripped up the straight line, but what he actually said was he on drugs.
It wasn't until we went out to see someone by the name of Jordan Belfort, and we're sitting in the audience, we paid to watch him do a presentation.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. And he gets up and Jordan starts talking about how he taught he invented and taught his salespeople the straight line process. I turned to Cam and said, you've got to be kidding me.
Said something similar to that. Now, I started using the straight line in 2001. What year was that? 2010 we went and saw it.
Yeah.
It's logical though. I wouldn't imagine I'm the only person that's come up with the concept. It just seems too logical to me. So Jordan said the financial and banking institutions now are all using his straight line method. When we started investing in property, I applied the same process to understand, because property investing there's a lot of white noise. There's a huge amount to take in. So I wanted a way to get from the idea of investing down to getting a tenant without having to think about it. So I just follow a process to knock off each step along the way.
So the key thing being here, at any point you know where you're up to. So if you're taken off track, you divert it, you know where to bring yourself back to and get back into your process, start working down or up the straight line again.
Yeah, hell yeah. So we've dot pointed it out today, literally, and this will give beginners a clear visual, because I'm a visual person. When I'm looking at reports for my businesses, I like things on one page, I like them traffic lighted, nice and easy. I can see exactly what's going on, clear vision over the activity. This allows investors to understand and visualise how to buy a perfect investment property all the time, because lots of things are going to get thrown at you at different stages. This, as Al said, you're off track, you know where to come back to. So this is my straight line to wealth, as we call it. Initially, the first point is the idea. So you have to have a basic desire to want to buy a property. Go figure. Following that, before even looking at the property, there's a couple of steps you've got to go through. So setting up your team. And what's a team consist of?
It's your conveyancer, your broker, your accountant, your lawyer.
There you go.
I missed any?
No, that's about right. That's about right. So I won't go into detail. We've had previous WODs on going into specifics on all of these things, but this is really important just to refresh, and especially for new people thinking about investing, this is going to be really important for them. So setting up your team. Make a few calls, get the right people on your team.
Ask the right questions.
Hell yeah. Before you're looking at property, you got to find out how much you can borrow. You need a pre-finance approval from the banks. So you need to go and talk to your broker or a banker and find out how much money they'll give you before you even think about buying property. Once we know how much cash we've got, we're identifying the investment. Now this is broken into 3 stages, 3 quite complex stages, but once again, as Al said, if you're off track, you can come back. So first, use the process we developed called MAP, so Market Area Property, which is the opposite way that most people choose properties. So if you follow that process there, you've got your idea, your team, your finance, you know how much money you can borrow. If you follow that process there, you'll continually pick the best investment property every time in Australia, without doubt. After that, once you know and you're confident that's the best property, you assign contracts. Only after contracts are done can you then get full finance approval. So don't take it, a pre-finance approval, as a formal approval by the banks. It's pretty close, but it's not said and done until the fat lady's sung, so to speak. Settlement, after you've got contracts, you move to the settlement phase where your conveyancer and the other vendor's conveyancer get together, swap a few checks around, a few contracts, and you own a property.
Hand you some keys.
You own a property. Well done. Doesn't stop there. You then, construction if required, and following that, tenancy. So obviously you need a property manager at this stage. So once again, huge amounts of information are getting thrown to you and you'll feel like that's all jumbled up.
So let's give an example. All right. So let's say someone's going through this idea camp and they've chosen their team, they've got their pre-approval, but they get sidetracked and end up over in the wilderness.
So someone said to them, service departments are good.
Service departments are good?
Service departments are good.
So they're off in the wilderness. They realise they're off track, what do?
They look back at the steps associated with identifying the property, because a service department is a type of property. They follow the process to check the best market, the best area and the best property. They'll be able to assess that outcome with a service department option and decide which is the best investment. I don't know about you, but service departments.
That's a WOD.
That's a WOD. Yeah, well, we'll go. Next one. All right. Any other examples, Wayne? You happy?
I think they get it the whole way through. If you get to contracts and it falls over, what do? You go back to your straight line. Where am I up to? You go back to the previous point, identify the property, start again.
Yeah.
Very simple.
So guys, if you get off track, you come back and follow that. If a simple guy like me can buy property time after time by using this process, hey, anyone can do it.
That said, CAMS use it for sales teams. We've used it for, you can use it for anything. Use it for catching a taxi.
Business processes.
Business process, you name it. Straight line works. It's A to B as quickly as possible.
Without fail. Cheers guys.
Cheers.